The resource-based view is a conceptualization of the firm that attempts to explain why some firms are more profitable than others. The logic boils down to more successful firms possessing resources and capabilities that are superior to those of competitors and difficult for competitors to replicate. Resources are things that the firm owns or has access to that it can use to create and capture value. Capabilities are things that the firm does to create and capture value. Note that not doing something is not a capability. If, for example, a firm does not advertise and this benefits them strategically, it is incorrect to say that not advertising is a capability. Instead, one must identify what they do that allows them not to advertise. This is the capability. Identifying what type of competitive advantage a firm has, meaning temporary or sustainable, requires identifying the resources and capabilities that are key to its success. These are also known as core competencies, and assessing each of them, or relevant combinations, according to the VRIN criteria. How valuable it is, meaning does it increase the price consumers are willing to pay, attract more customers, or lower costs to the firm? How rare it is, meaning do many other firms have access to a similar competency? How costly it is to imitate, and how costly it is to substitute, meaning can many other firms easily find something that accomplishes the same purpose? Rarity is the characteristic that most students have a hard time understanding. The question of rarity very much has to do with nature or degree. For example, most firms have reputations, but when assessing the rarity of the reputation of a specific firm, the question is not whether other firms have reputations. The question is whether many other firms have a reputation that is similar to the reputation of the firm being analyzed. Similarly, the degree or quality of the resource matters. For example, if a manufacturer has been recognized as the highest quality manufacturer in its field, then its reputation for quality is rare. Even if other competitors have reputations for quality. Being seen as the best is rare. Another common problem with reasoning about rarity is when the analysis says that a resource is not rare, but it is difficult to imitate. This does not make sense. If a resource is not rare, then it must not be difficult to imitate because it has been imitated many times. VRIN analysis is performed resource by resource, one at a time. It is incorrect to say Apple is valuable because, Apple is rare because, etc. It is also incorrect to say a valuable resource of Apple's is its operating system. A rare resource of Apple's is its brand, etc. These are both very common mistakes that would-be analysts make. They do not provide any insight into sustainable competitive advantage, because sustainable competitive advantage comes from resources and capabilities that meet all of the VRIN criteria. The correct approach is Apple's operating system is valuable because, Apple's operating system is rare because, etc. The following table is a useful illustration of the correct approach to the VRIN analysis. It can be written out in paragraph form fairly easily for inclusion in a report or memo. So for resource or capability, we have reputation for quality. It's valuable, it's rare, it's difficult to imitate, difficult to substitute, and the explanation is the firm is known as the best in its industry and the path dependency makes it difficult for competitors to catch up. The next resource or capability is innovative marketing. It's valuable, it's rare, it's somewhat difficult to imitate, and it's somewhat difficult to substitute. The explanation is other firms may be able to develop similar capabilities or copy the firm's tactics, but it would be difficult and the firm's reputation increases the effectiveness of its marketing. And the last resource or capability would be human capital management. It's valuable, it's rare, it's difficult to imitate, and it's somewhat difficult to substitute. And the explanation is human capital management capabilities have a great deal of social complexity involved and depend heavily on firm culture, which is very difficult to imitate. A competitor may be able to acquire other resources to decrease the advantage from this firm's human capital management.